the legislative arm of government. Despite numerous interventions, including those by the president's leaders of thought and patriotic groups, the contending parties have refused to resolve the crisis. The Supreme Court, in a judgment on 28th of February 2025, condemned the governor's unconstitutional actions and ordered the immediate passage of an appropriation bill to restore constitutional democracy. However, the governor has failed to comply with the court's order, and the state has witnessed disturbing incidents of pipeline vandalism and threats to violence. In light of these circumstances, President Tinubu invoked Section 305 of the 1999 Constitution to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State. Tinubu also suspended the governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, his deputy, Mrs. Ngozi Odu, and all members of the state's House of Assembly for 6 months. The declaration has been published in the Federal with the Constitution. President Tinubu hopes that this intervention will help restore peace, order, and good governance in Rivers State. Still in Rivers State, Police Command has confirmed the arrest of 2 persons in connection with the explosion that rocked the Shell Petroleum Development Company, operated by Trans-Niger Delta Pipeline. This is coming after the incident occurred Monday night till Tuesday morning at the border of Bo and Bodo communities in Gokana local government area of the state. Confirming the incident, the Public Police Relations Officer of the command, SP Grace Irenge Koko, said in a statement that a thorough investigation to determine the cause of the explosion, which resulted in an inferno, has commenced to uncover any potential act of sabotage, adding that command remains at a pipeline manifold explosion connecting a federal pipeline deep inside the forest, and the pipeline transports crude oil to Braz in Bayelsa State. The spokesperson for the state's police command, Grace Irenge Koko, said investigations are ongoing. Meanwhile, some Ijaw youths on Tuesday blocked the Ahoda access of the east-west road leading to Bayelsa State in protest and carrying placards in solidarity with the Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara and the feud with the State House of Assembly. Political analyst says the executive arm of government should be answerable to the people and take responsibility for their actions by making decisions based on what is right rather than emotions. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program Open Conversation, political analyst Chizi Nyomasila and remain accountable in office.
I think it's about one of the Minister for Information in German. He said one time, I mean Hitler's information minister, he said if you give a 1,000 lives.
Public Relations Officer DSP Timfon John on Tuesday said the directive followed a meeting between the police commissioner and the leadership of the Students' Union on Monday. This is coming after the students had earlier staged a protest at the institution's main gate, decrying what they described as rising insecurity and harassment by security operatives. Addressing their concerns, CP Azare reaffirmed the command's commitment to human rights and assured that any officer found guilty of professional misconduct would face disciplinary action, and also stressed the need for collaboration between students and security agencies, adding that proactive measures were being put in place to curb crime and enhance safety within the host community. He assured that under his leadership, the command would maintain the highest standards of policing while ensuring the protection of lives and property. Moving on to Anambra State, the governor Chukwuma Soludo says there is no competent opponent proposing his re-election in the November 8, 2025 governorship poll. Soludo said there is a consensus among Nde Anambra that his party, the All Progressives Grand Alliance, has delivered dividends of democracy and should be given another chance in the next election. He disclosed this in a statement to celebrate his third anniversary, stressing that the people of the Southeast state can vote for any party during national elections, but are loyal to APGA when it comes to governorship and local government chairman seats. The former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria also said he has gotten calls to run for a second term, but his party would take the decision on who becomes the flag bearer. In recent times, Anambra State have been described as one of the 8 states where governorship elections are held off-season due to litigations and court judgments, including Bayelsa, Edo, Ekiti, Imo, Kogi, Osun, and Ondo states. Justice Yetunde Pinheiro of the Lagos State High Court has reserved judgment in the suit filed by the reinstated Speaker of the House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, who is challenging the legality of the January 13, 2025 proceedings that led to his initial removal. The judge had several preliminary objections by various counsel representing the defendants and said the date to deliver the judgment and rulings would be communicated to parties in due course. Earlier, when the matter came up, Obasa's counsel, Professor Joshua Olatoke, urged the court to assume jurisdiction to hear the matter and argued that the House was in recess at the time the lawmakers convened illegally on January 13, 2025, and was not duly informed by either the Speaker or the Majority Leader, who has the power to reconvene any session during recess. However, counsel for the Assembly, Mr. Femi Falana, the suits brought by way of originating summons, adding that the proceedings of January 13, 2025 were valid, having been held in the Assembly, and the decision taken to remove the Speaker was taken by more than the constitutional requirements of a 2/3 majority of the members. Moving on, analysts has criticized jungle justice in a system where democracy plays a major role on the fundamental rights of citizens and warned Nigerians not to take law into their own hands. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program Atlantic Blowout, public affairs analyst Enyimo San Mufasa said, in a civil society where angry mob attack offenders is not the legal solution to seek justice.
That even stabbing the victim, that could equally elicit the kind of response and reaction that you got from the mob. Like I've said before.
Mufasa recommends strategic deployment of police officers to prevent escalation.
It is not everything that government does that everybody will like. It's not. So, I have to preach. Let them be anybody. Let them do whatever I've said. So, it's for civil servants. A broker is not a doctorate. You know I need doctorate. I want to do this. I don't want coming from the city. I need education. Sometimes I was should we call to the city. Those words. So I'm sorry for whatever you take that. Well, we didn't do anything to suffer anybody.
Ask them, most of the places you said you have revoked are not.
I'm not revoked.
Yes, the last time you came, that was the last time you visited the community. You want to give us the answer the way you
Don't worry, I will get tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Wike promised to revisit the location to see for himself and to resolve the compensation issue amicably by ensuring that all affected persons are fully compensated and relocated. Minister of Federal Capital Territory Nyesom Wike has revoked the Land of the People's Democratic Party's National Secretariat, which is situated in Abuja. Wike issued the revocation notice in a letter dated March 13, 2025, titled Notice of Right of Occupancy with file number M1SC 2006 to January 1, 2025, despite many publications and several national dailies and electronic media to pay up every outstanding bill and ground rent on its property. The minister also said the FCTA administration led by him will hence under his leadership. Our state has demonstrated innovation and its approach to development. You're watching the Transition and Atlantic Television Network. We'll return shortly after this break.